Hello. And welcome back. It is time for the Comics Coffee Table, the Sunday new comics review show. That's right. How you doing, everybody out there in TV land? Usually, hey, this is being filmed before a live studio audience of my stuffed animals. And yourself, thank you so much for dropping by. It is time for the Comics Coffee Table. We have show notes. That's right, show notes made by my executive producer. We have the Canadian Bear, as always, as our humble studio audience, and yourself here on this wonderful Sunday, December the 17th, 2023, and where we talk about the new comic books of the week. And excuse my voice. I hold on. This is what I do at Wes's. Say that was just clearing out my throat. Just coughing, Hey, Derek, how's it going out there? Good to see you. I just gave myself a head rush by doing that. That was a bad idea. I do reserve the right to bail on any stream due to my panic attacks. Seriously, I suffer from panic and anxiety. It's really nasty. But it's better to be on top of it than to be on top of you. That's the way it is. It's the Comics Coffee Table. It's the Sunday new review day. And I've looked in both of my pirate digital, my digital pirate chests, arg, full of treasure. One full of Marvel comics, one full of DC comics. I read 17 different Marvel comics this week. I read 16 brand new DC comics this week. And on top of it all, I got to my local comic book shop where I bought some funny books. What did I buy this week? We will find out at the end of the show. Look, it's the ubiquitous brown paper bag that you get when you buy comic books at your local comic book shop, your LCS. Also, you got a bona fide unboxing. Yep, one of those crowdfunders came in the mail. Indeed. And let's see. Hi, everyone. Well, cool. And then let's get to it. I'm drinking hot chocolate today in my Dell's mug. Hey, James. Good to see you. We got Derek Cavins out there. We got the Wicked Fanboy out there. Wicked Pissa. Haha. All righty. And yeah, I'm drinking. This is what I drink for hot chocolate. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's my favorite. Yeah, I usually drink first thing in the morning Dell's coffee. Yes, it matches my mug. I have a subscription, so I get 2 bags every 2 weeks. It's great. And you could too. He's got there's a link in the About page for this very channel. We used to have some radio buttons on the banner, but they took that away from us. Yeah, they took that away from us. Indeed. So yeah, it's Sunday is the day that I go through the new releases, and let's get to it. Should we do Marvel first or DC? I say Marvel because I feel that DC had a very strong week this week, and I don't mind taking some time talking about a couple of new releases that I think might deserve your money, and it might deserve some space in your physical box collections too. I know that I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about the sleeper of the week, seriously, and let's get to it. Yeah, we've got Marvel Comics. Let's do it descending alphabetically, is from X going backwards, because we're going to start off with XMen Red number 18. And this is not like the other Fall of X titles. This XMen Red is an ongoing, and it's on issue 18. So it's not one of these 5-part Fall of X minis that, I've been reading the heck out of. And and they all haven't. The bad part about them is that they're issue 5. The landing of the story, they've all been kind of flat. Realm of X, Alpha Flight, and Dark X-Men. I mean, and those are the ones I liked. Alpha Flight, and I liked Dark X-Men. Realm of X, not so much, but it wasn't made for me. I mean, this is, yeah. Hey, AL, how's it going? Good to see you. Awaken the Pikachu that lives inside. Yes. How you feeling, AL? Our friend AL is recovering from the coof. Yes. And we send her all of our good vibes. The Genki Dama, the Spirit Bomb. Yo, Bendito Bane. How you doing? Good to see you, sir. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for make sure, pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today. We're taking a break together here at our very own comics coffee table. Let's talk comics. And, there's so much outrage out there right now, especially with current events. And we do talk about it. We don't shy from it. But I'm not going to make it the big thing, that's for other channels. When we all met through those channels, and they do it better than me anyway. And oh no. Okay, we are sending all of our chicken soup energy to AL. Oh my goodness. Hey, Dwayne Muth. Good to see you. Indeed. But yeah, so XMen Red, it's by Al Ewing. Interesting, decent art by Yildiray Cinar. And it's the last story. It's like with all the other, if you had to call this like one of the 5-part mini within, like, it was a 5-part arc, an XMen Red, the Fall of X arc, what I mean? This ends as well. And this is this decisive victor of the battle from Mars. And I like the last issue and this issue the best out of the ones I've read. And this one, I think, is, for the Fall of X story, has landed the best as just a story, and as a superhero story, and as an X-Men story. A couple of, like, oh god, Dark X-Men landed like an early 80s network TV pilot. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think we're going to pass on this one there, Oh boy. So yeah, it was XMen Red. I read it. I've been reading it for a couple of months now. And I've read pretty much all the Fall of X stuff. And it's been an interesting time to, I'm not, this is in the pirate, chest. So it's like, I do go back and buy the ones that I want. There will be Marvel Comics I'm buying this week. There are a couple of Peach Momoko Nightmare variants for, like, Doctor Strange and Hulk. I mean, I would just flip if I could get those. I'm out there. I can be talked into getting a variant cover very easily. That'll come back at the end of the show. We're gonna talk about a variant cover. It was my gift. I wanted it, and guess what? It ended up on the shelf. I'm so happy. So yeah, X-Men Red wasn't that bad. All right, so it's White Widow issue 2. This is a magazine clearly not made for me. Written by Sarah Gailey, and art by Alessandro Miracolo, and hey, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to spend my whole shows, you know, complaining about things that are out of my control and not clearly not made for me. But this like you can really see the fingerprints of stuff like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Sex in the City, and it has a snappy TV kind of feel to its dialogue through that CW lens, and now that's being put onto pages in a Marvel comic book with the expectations of Marvel superhero stuff. But no, literally, this is Marvel. They're a periodical publication company. They're just so hopefully the people that this was made for shows up and buys it, or at least buys the collection when this wraps up at issue 5. Because as Perch says, they're all minis now, and we just don't know it. And so let's see if White Widow goes over 5 issues. I mean, Avengers Inc. got canceled, and that's only going 5 issues. So 5 issues seems to be the norm for the Marvel trade paperback. In my humble opinion, it might be 6 issues still. Oh, what do I know? I'm still learning every single day about our wonderful hobby. Here's an interesting story. I want to like modern Star Wars more than I want to dislike it. And I came into this arm of the fandom through the hashtag the fandom menace idea. It was never really like a group of people. It was more of like a fart joke in an elevator in a way. I thought it just had a cool sounding name. You know what I mean? And it was a movement. Now there are bowel movements, and there's movement across an ocean with a sail. So there are many different movements. This was one of many. And it was cute. And it was like, you know what? In hindsight, where are the bodies? What harm? There was no actual harm to anyone. And all that hate and all that outrage and all that bad talking, But it's Star Wars, The High Republic, Shadows of Starlight, issue number 3 of 4. Written by Charles Soule, who is pretty much the on-point writer in the Marvel Star Wars bullpen. Yes, Marvel Star Wars has its own bullpen. It's it's got Guggenheim, it's got Soule, it's got Pack, it's got Wong, and but it's okay. It can be okay in places, and this is okay in its place, in its own kind of thing. Yeah, just it's kind of it's at least it keeps its trappings, and like they're Jedi, and they're Jedi of a certain age, you know what I mean? And so being tuned into the Old Republic and the Knights of the Old Republic, I would watch the hell out of those cutscenes, those cutscene movies, and those are so entertaining. That's some really good Star Wars. We were talking about Star Wars: The High Republic, Shadows of Starlight number 3. It's pretty decent as Star Wars stories go, as modern Star Wars goes. There's Star Wars Bounty Hunters. No, it's issue 41. It's the part of the Dark Droids mini series, the mini event, and it's connecting all 6 major in continuity Star Wars books, like these synaptic books. They are all in some parallel part of Star Wars between Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi specifically. And it seems that we're getting closer to the opening scroll of Return of the Jedi. And you can tell by trappings, Star Wars coatings. You know what I mean? Luke was wearing brown. Now he's wearing his black outfit, but he's still got the gold lightsaber. So, geez. Hey, George Lucas, we were just talking about your magnum opus. That's right. American Graffiti. Great movie too, by the way. But at least I'm grateful and blessed to be reading all of a bounty of Star Wars books, and pretty much, they're part of my pirate chest. But I will buy them occasionally. I bought Star Wars, Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, like 2 of those issues. I got the Peach Momoko Visions #1. I can be sold a Star Wars magazine. Still, I want to buy good Star Wars. I want there to be good Star Wars to buy. And but the Dark Droids thing isn't like, doing it for me. But I'm glad I've had my finger on the pulse of it. I think I can still barely tell you what's going on at Star Wars. You know what I mean? The Wicked Piss is coming. Star Wars, the breakfast cereal, Star Wars, Bubble Bath. There was Star Wars Bubble Bath. Yeah. I think it was a Darth Vader head to the bottle or something. Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy, 4 of 5. I think there's only one more issue of this. Really great drawings of superheroes, pacings, paneling. This thing is written by Ron Mars. Take him or leave him. He's a bit of a hothead. I follow him on Twitter. I don't really agree with much that he says, about his beliefs, but I don't have to, have his belief. I can have his comic book instead. But it's so well drawn by Mark Lim, and it's Mark Lim, right? No, Ron Lim. It's Ron Mars and Ron Lim, and inked by Don Ho. And just love these panels. Oh, and yeah, it's a very classic, well drawn, old style Marvel superhero comic book. And here comes one that I hope is gonna, this could collect better. It's 1 of 2, and they're both 33 pages each or so. So it's called Spider-Gwen Smash. And Spider-Gwen is its own thing. It's like there's a Gwen Stacy out there in the Spider-Verse who not only lives, but gets the spider power. So this is written by Melissa Flores. Enid Balam is the penciler. Cifuentes Sujo is the colorist. Elisabetta D'Amico is the inker. So at least we got a penciler and an inker on this. And there is a Peach Momoko variant cover. I just like this. It gets to be like Gem and the Holograms versus Barbie and the Rockers. And we got a healthy dose of classic looking Dazzler. I love Alison Blair. She's a great character. Love the X-Men. But it's I hope you're able to sell this to this Spider-Gwen Smash to teenage girls, or maybe the 20-something or 30-something, women that do read this, or 40, who knows, whoever this is just show up, buy them, please. They need you to. And let's see. Don't be afraid to smash that like button and tell some people with the share button what's going down right now. Here at the Comics Coffee Table, we have Punisher by David Pepose. He blocked me on Twitter. What do you want? I got no patience for that. And yeah, it's new Punisher. I don't know. I read it. Been there, done that. Who cares? Yeah. There was Moon Knight 30, which is the last issue. It's Jed McKay. And spoilers. Yeah, everything you heard is true. Except for the last part. What's her name? I forget her name. Reese. Yeah. Is Reese the Moon Knight? She's wearing white, sure. And it looks like she's in charge of Mark Spector's little thing there. The Midnight Mission. So is it getting pandaversed? We don't know. We don't know yet. It will continue. And he's died before. It's this whole thing. Mark Spector died in the shadow of the temple of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon, and he became Moon Knight, the Fist of Khonshu, to fight evil. Yeah, it says so right there in the primer page too. Yeah, to conflate, I feel like conflating manga along with the North American publication industry market is I don't think so. I mean, you can claim that Viz is a domestic publisher. They're just reprinting Japanese content, but domestically. So, is it or isn't it? It's not like these are imports. I'm devil's advocate. Just thought of that. So Viz is printing their comics somewhere domestically. I hear Canada's a big place for it too. They got a lot of trees. Trees are made into paper. Paper is used for printing, and printing is used for funny books. See how that goes? Great. It was a decent issue though. I mean, it's a standalone issue. Moonlight 30 was pretty solid. We have Miles Morales number 13. It's Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 13. It's legacy number 295. And it's part of the ongoing gang war. And it's gang war. It's like there's a huge gang territory free for all going on in Manhattan and in the boroughs of Marvel New York City. It's all the gangs rising up to try to take more territory, bump off their rivals, and it's a free for all for the gangsters. So Spider-Man is not working solo on this. He's calling in his favors, he's gathering his friends, and he's made a team of misfits and of street level New York powerhouses as well, and to protect the city and to end this. Yeah, the status will quos. The quos will status. This and that and the other thing. Apparently, it's 22 different floppies long. It has a core title called Gang War, I guess, and Amazing Spider-Man is a big part of it too. And that's Zeb Wells, and right now it's got John Romita Jr. inked by Scott Hanna. Good art. Marvel Zombies issue 3. We were talking about Peach Momoko. I love Peach Momoko. She's great. She gives me a sense of wonder and an opportunity to interpret what's going on with the art into the story. I mean, I find her fascinating. I love it. And so I usually will buy anything Peach Momoko just because, yeah, I'm that kind of fan. I mean, so coming back to one of these anthology books, this one is called Marvel Zombies, Black, White, and Blood, Red. Again, so, and there's an anthology tale, 3 different stories, 3 different sets of heroes or villains, or like these Twilight Zone-y, macabre, horror themed, because it's set on the Marvel Zombies, Marvel Earth. And there's a Peach Momoko cover, and it's called Juju and the Gift of the Insect Bead. And she's the writer artist. And then it's also translated by Zach Davidson. So Davison. And I wonder if it came from Japanese. It's an old thing. It doesn't say where it was translated from. Or maybe it was just a regular Peach Momoko, kind of story with no words. I've seen her do that in Star Wars Visions, and but I passed on this. I did not buy this. So yeah, because I read this digital copy first, and I'm like, yeah, no, the story doesn't really grab me. There's actually, I don't think there's a Marvel character in it, but it is classically Peach Momoko. It's confusing, it's confounding, it's beautiful, it's grotesque, it's drippy, with this, with like the morning dew of nature. Yeah, it's hard. I love this opportunity to try to describe Peach Momoko and my fascination with her art. Hey, Mark McGrath, good to see you. How are you? Happy holidays to everyone. There was issue 2 of Luke Cage Gang War, and yeah, it's just I come back a lot to Countdown on Final Crisis and all of the tie-in stuff, and how none of those stories, none of that money I spent mattered one bloody bit to Final Crisis, where it was leading. The death of the New Gods, the Jimmy Olsen thing, Piper having to handcuffed to Trickster, who's dead. That was fun. I mean, there was the Dark Mary Marvel thing, which was supposed to have set you up for Desaad being able to infect Mary Marvel with his soul and become, Final Crisis Desaad, who is Mary Marvel. And, oh yeah. No, none of those. Countdown to Final Crisis taught me a lot of being a comic book. And another thing too, there's a continuity error here, or it's too much going on at the same time. What we have, this is a Spider event or a street level Marvel Manhattan event. So we're getting Luke Cage involved, who's currently the mayor of Marvel New York, his wife Jessica Jones, his best friend Danny Rand, who no longer has the Iron Fist because the Iron Fist needed to go back to an Asian person, and that's why I'm blocked by Greg Pak. It's so long because someone put me on an anti-AAPI list for saying, what's up with Danny Rand? I've known him for 45 years. What's going on? Hey, but Cloak and Dagger are part of the street level team helping out Spider-Man. And in this issue particular, they're helping out Power Man, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. The deal is that currently Cloak and Dagger are Orcus Hounds, and it's part of the Fall of X. They're being used. Those action figures are in use right now. So now we have this overlap. It happens sometimes in comics. We need to maybe be pliable with our imaginations in order to make room for this. I don't remember seeing an editor note asterisk. These events take place after Fall of X in order to justify having Cloak and Dagger be freed from being Orcus Hounds. What's an Orcus Hound? Do we have all day? No. Orcus, Fall of X. And because we're getting the Dark X-Men number 5, which is they have the Sentinel technology. They're trying to curb back mutant kind. It's like the Days of Future Past is coming to fruition again. Indeed. We have Daredevil Gang War number 1, which written by Erica Schultz, pencils by Sergio Davila, inks by Sean Parsons. So it's not that bad, but drawn, but it's Elektra Daredevil, and so an Elektra Daredevil meets an assassin, almost her equal. So she's she loves to fight a good fight against someone of equal, merit and skill. So it's one big cat fight on rooftops. That's right. I like the idea of Cloak and Dagger, but they really don't have classic stories that fans remember. True. And then didn't they had a Marvel MCU TV show That was on, I think it was on the Come and Gone network called Freeform. It's up there, and it was like in that same kind of IP mental universe of like the days of Agents of Shield and of Netflix Daredevil. But Cloak and Dagger, yeah, they had a TV show. Yeah, Marvel Cloak and Dagger television series. Let's read it from the wiki. That's right. We haven't said that in a while, have we? Marvel's Cloak and Dagger, or simply Cloak and Dagger, is an American television series created by Joe Pulaski for Freeform. Yes, Freeform is an American basic cable channel owned and operated by ABC Family Worldwide, a subdivision of the Disney Entertainment business segment and division of Walt Disney Company. You get that? We got that in writing? 2 seasons, 20 episodes. It began, and the first season aired from June to August in 2018, and Freeform renewed the series for a second season in 2018, which premiered on April 4th, 2019, and concluded on May 30th of 2019. The series was canceled on October 24th, 2019. The Cloak and Dagger show wasn't good. Indeed. There was a Runaways show, wasn't there, too? There was a Runaways show. Well, is it? Did anyone watch Runaways? Because that's a comic I never got into, and that would be something to go back and try to get the runs of, that would be a noble goal, because that's like an X title, but it's got like that, and it's got that before the multiverse became this modern thing. Taken in small doses, it kept its coolness. I mean, so Runaways began, yeah, and that went from 2017 to 2019 on Hulu. Haha. Let's see. We also have Immortal Thor number 5, written by Torrin Grunbeck, and it wraps up a 5-issue arc. It's 5, the magic number at Marvel now. It's not a 6. It's it's not a 6-issue. They cut that down by 1. The Runaways book started well, then faltered somewhat. But Immortal Thor, it's got a beautiful Alex Ross cover. If you're into that, I mean, because that kind of sells it as well. Alex Ross is also doing covers for Doctor Strange and Fantastic Four. Ain't that cool? Get your Alex Ross on. I love Alex Ross. Brian K. Vaughan can write a story. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy number 9, written by Lansing and Kelly. I'm not a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I never have been. So it's not like I'm a bandwagoner or anything. It's more of like, it just never was my thing. I never got into the movies. I tried watching the first movie once. I shut it off like 10 minutes in, like to the prison break scene. It reminded me of an Ertzatz Boogie Nights. And just like, oh, okay, I've already seen Boogie Nights. If I want to watch Boogie Nights, I'll watch Boogie Nights. That's where I came with that. Lots of people love those Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And as they like to say on our favorite outrage shows, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the only Disney movie to have made its money and pulled its weight at the box office this past year. But you have such wonderful art by Kev Walker in this. It's like I was saying about the Silver Surfer Legacy Rebirth number 4. It's just got such a traditional Marvel kind of hand to it. I love the art in this. Kev Walker's art is magnificent. I hope if you're a Guardians of the Galaxy fan and you like this kind of stuff, man, check out anything with the Kev Walker art to it. And give Lansing and Kelly a chance. Maybe they could surprise you. It depends, who knows. they're not really, impressing me over on Marvel. I mean, not at DC. They're doing Outsiders, which is like this weird ripoff of Planetary. But we'll actually get there. Speaking of the fall of X 5-issue minis, all wrapping up and landing flatly. It's Dark X-Men number 5 by Steve Fox, and the art's pretty good. I like the art. It's because it's a little grotesque. It's Dark X-Men. It's about like the mystic and evil and demonic, and it's his name's Jonas Scharf. Yeah. And I don't know. It just, this one, yeah. It just ends so flat. The first 3 issues were really good. It started kind of faltering at that 4th issue, and just lands flatly at this 5th issue. So there was Captain America number 4, J. Michael Straczynski's new volume, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people like that, and it's a miss for me. And I love Captain America. That's my convention cosplay. That's a commitment too. That stuff's so hot to wear in August. Oh man, I think I'll never do that. I think I'll do that again if it was like, if it's fall or when, the Boston conventions are summertime ones though. Good, gratefully enough. And then there's Blade issue 6, which is like it's like the training montage episode, and he's training with Dracula, and Dracula is trying to get Eric to, Blade here to, why don't you give yourself permission to use your vampire gifts? That's the only, Blade can't win this. Maybe you need to dig deeper and want this more, and it's interesting. Yeah. So Blade's gotten some base hits with you know what I mean? And it's gotten a few ground outs, but overall, it's got a pretty good on base percentage. So that's that for Blade. Yeah. Blade 6. And that's that from Marvel Comics. Okay. Now we're going where? We're going to DC Comics. And I think DC Comics had a really good week, to be honest with you. And we're going to talk just about a little bit about the outrage right now. Let's get to it. I'm going to go down the DC list alphabetically backwards. So we can start with Mark Waid and his World's Finest Teen Titans, number 6, which wraps the series up. Now, I got issue 1. I'm happy that I got issue 1. I got a foil variant cover, and it's really slick looking. But here's the thing about Mark Waid's World's Finest and its spinoff here, and any other future spinoff that would be under the World's Finest, kind of trade dress, that it's set in the past of the modern continuity, and that there's no tension. It's completely safe. It's good sauce, but it's mild sauce. All right. So you want to say something's got the sauce, it's got some fuego to it. You know what I mean? It's got some, just like that just happened. Your fingers could be tingling. You don't want to touch your eyes. You need to wash your hands off before you touch your eyes. Your eyes are watering. Your nose is running. It's got the sauce. Mark Waid's going to get one of these naughty hats. Is that what we're trying to say here? Is he in the naughty list? Yeah, sure. Well, first, Teen Titans number 6. There's a great line in here that Mr. Waid could use in his own kind of thing, where Robin says to the Terror Titans, you guys are a mob. We're a team. Great Robin dialogue, too. See, Mark Waid is really good at his job, okay? And he's like the opposite version, like, of Ethan Van Sciver, too. Both say incendiary, spiteful things to get attention, and it kind of works and it stirs the pot. But also, I don't take Ethan Van Sciver all that seriously. Ethan doesn't take himself that seriously. The only people that take him that seriously are the people that try to that come to attack and come to just like label, and just like the people that don't like him, they take Ethan seriously. Because that's so why are we taking Mark Waid seriously is what I'm thinking. He's a writer. He's he's imaginative, creative, probably empathetic, and probably speaking like hyperbole and allegory, and that's right. Don't give him any charcoal in his stocking, please, because charcoal will eventually turn into diamonds in a couple of million years, right? So don't even give him the potential of diamonds. Don't do it. Have some long game. But yeah, I mean, and he kind of said, and he said there was a very small sorry that he sent to Mark Miller's way. Yes, that happened. So, hey, Yule Carter of Fantastic Comics of Berkeley, California. Make sure you tune into Yule Carter on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific, where that's his show, his weekly show. It's wonderful. And I'm pretty sure I see some of you out there in his chat too. That's always cool. Good to see everyone. But yeah, so Mark Waid, yeah. He's he's talking like an a-hole, but so does Ethan. I mean, and it's just pushing back. I mean, I don't know. And what does this mean for going forward, though, for lots of people out there? I mean, are you dropping your Mark Waid titles? Some people out there I know are. So are you going to be getting World's Finest Teen Titans #6? What if you already have the first 5 issues? It's only 1 issue left. What are you going to leave it hanging just because, he kind of painted himself into the corner? But I don't know. I'll be forgiving and just be like, hey man, just just maybe he can watch that stuff from now on, because I mean he's a really good DC superhero writer, and we need Mark Waid to sell comic books and not disparage the product. And he's and and I read this and it wraps up, and just like I thought, it's completely safe. It went nowhere. It's got zero tension, but it was cute, and it was kind of fun. But I'm a big fan of comics being fun, but for me, it just didn't have anything going on. We got Wesley Dodds, The Sandman, #3 of 6, written by Robert Venditti. Great story. With interesting art by Riley Rossmo, of whom I think whose style and tone fits completely perfectly in this 1940 New York City, home of the golden age Sandman, of this world of Tommy guns and gangsters with hats and dames. You know what I mean? And it's dreamy and it's noirish at the same time, which fits the tone of Sandman. I mean, I think that Riley Rossmo's line art is really, really good in this, but for me, it's just the heaping of the effects, like the digital effects. There's not just screen tone effects. There's just now there are hatching effects, and they're just filters. They're digital filters, and they're used everywhere. And yeah, there was that whole Antarctic press thing, and I'm glad that him and Richard Meyer settled out of court. There's a negotiated settlement to that, and They have achieved a level of satisfaction and walked away. Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, they were both very hot-headed people who didn't want to back down, but they came to a negotiated settlement, and that's their business. We don't even have to know their business. All we know is the detail, these brass tacks details of that story of Mark Waid versus your boy Zach. What happened? Who won? They both did, and they both lost, but when they both walked away, you know what I mean? They negotiated a settlement. It was Titans Beast World Tour. Number 1. Yeah, these are the one shots. Most of this issue wasn't that bad. The art in it was pretty good. I got to admit. Yeah. And yeah, there's a Kelly Jones drawn Stephanie Brown Batgirl story in it. Like, going Kelly Jones, and just I was very satisfied with it. Very satisfied with Titans Beast World Tour Gotham. Yeah, that was a surprise. But guess what? Titans Beast World number 2. That is really it. It ended up being pretty fun. That was a nice surprise. It starts off with Too Much Modern Purple, which really gets me the George Costanza shrinkage now. But, color me purple. Purple, I'm weaponizing the overuse and the trend of the color purple. I'm weaponizing it for the good of all Twitter, comics Twitter. I'm doing it. All this pervasive color purple everywhere in comics. I've been talking about it for months. But guess what? I found a reason to accept it. I found a reason to go with it. And I love saying it to blue people who absolutely hate hearing this. It's like, you know what I like? I want you to, every time you see purple in a comic book from now on, I want you to see all that blue being helped by reds, making this beautiful purple color that's everywhere. It's the unity of reds and blues. And they hate that. Wow. That's right. Okay, Ronald. And but it's also Ivan Rice's last DC Comics, and he's walking away from DC Comics. He's been at DC for 20 years. Now he's going to Ghost Machine to go make money, hopefully break the bank over at Image with Jeff Johns. But yeah, this is the last Ivan Rice book, and it's so well drawn. This stuff is beautiful. It's really good stuff. Highly recommend it. Where's the thing? What happened? Oh, there it is. Okay, yay. We have something here. It's a manga. I'll look it up. It's all right, I'll do this. I've never, because it's an Amazon page. No, I don't want to invite people yet. It's this. It's called Superman versus Mishi, Volume 1. This is really fun. Well, actually, I must be on what is Volume 2, because I read the 12th issue of this. It was in my my pirate chest, and I love it. It's hungry work being Superman. That's why every day for lunch, Superman versus Mishi, Superman makes a quick stop over in Japan to try a new chain restaurant. Whether it's a hearty bowl of curry or conveyor belt sushi, the Man of Steel loves to indulge in the delectable delicacies the country has to offer. He'll even share a meal with the other members of the Justice League from time to time in the hopes of showing them an incredible culinary experience. and this is just so fun. I remember the first one I got, I was like, what the heck is this? And it grew on me because it's silly, but it's fun. And I'm a chef. I love food. And you have this, and then Superman has like this, like an Insta account where he's known as Super Mishi, and Mishi means food in Japanese. So it's Superman versus food. And it's just, he's got an online persona that he does food porn. It's really fun. It's lighthearted. It's and it's well drawn in a traditional manga style. And it's done by Satoshi Miyagawa and Kai Kitago. And this really, hopefully, maybe this might end up in my top 10 for 2023. Pika, Superman versus Mishi. That's the sneak preview, right? But yeah, so back to the funnies. But yeah, Superman versus Mishi is really fun. And there was Speed Force issue number 2, which is about Avery Ho. She's the Flash of China, teaming up with Wallace West, the current Kid Flash, doing Speed Forcey things against Speed Forcey villains. That's right. I said Speed Forcey twice, now 3 times. And sure, I mean, it's very, I hope something like this catches on with younger readers. Yeah, why not? Outsiders number 2 by Lansing and Kelly. This wasn't that bad. So that's why I was like, prepping myself and you guys about not being too mean to Lansing and Kelly, because from all the LNK that I've read so far, this is pretty much the strongest issue. I'm a huge fan of Planetary, so I'm not a fan of this like weird DC Universe bootleg version of Planetary. And yeah, not really, my thing. Yeah, but I don't know. It was well paced, had decent dialogue, very X-Filesy, which it's supposed to be. So at least it kind of grazes the energy that Planetary has about being a bit, having that X-Files kind of quality, just like hard to describe. I'm sorry. I mean, like mind fart. It's not great, but it's pretty decent. There you go. It's better than the first issue, I think. And let's see how long this goes, huh? With Green Lantern number 6. We will talk about that in a little bit. There's Detective Comics 1079, written by Ram V, and I'm telling you, he's got the goods, man. Alexander does his name's what's his name? Jason. I don't want to get him confused with the guy who plays George Costanza. This guy's name is Jason Sean Alexander, and Liam Sharp helps out as well. And I mean, I'm loving Jason Sean Alexander's work. There was a question that came up on in Wes's chat yesterday during Thinking Critical's Comics Aficionados, and they asked, "What do you think are some of the best writer artist combos that Battery like in modern comics today?" And this was one of my answers. One of my first answers was Ram V and Jason Sean Alexander. I really enjoy the slow burn. I enjoy Ram V's characterization of Selena Kyle, and it fits in what was going on. in Gotham more, but it's at the same time doing its own thing. And it's very, I love the art, and I love the storytelling, and it's meandering and taking its time, and that's okay because there's a bona fide run there too, and that appeals to me as a comics fan. So yeah, there's a one here called DC's "'Twas the Might Before Christmas," being this like it's a $9.99 book. It is 87 pages long, and it's an anthology of different Christmas carol. One of the highlights of this was Lex Luthor's A Christmas Carol, which he's visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and done in classic Lex Luthor nonchalance. It's really fun. There was a tale starring Bunker, the Teen Titan. Remember Bunker from the Teen Titans? And he's seriously, here you have an openly gay comic book character, and he hasn't been used since that iteration of Teen Titans ended. He's been in limbo all this time until this issue. And because it has it has like the Pride Annual kind of like last two panels of like, hey, it's a big party, and there's every alphabet person is in the, of heroes from John Constantine, and like there's like there he's out there, yeah, he's part of it too. Yeah, one omission though was Tim Drake. Tim Drake was not at the party. Maybe they're rolling that back. Who knows? But let's see. Back to the list. There's Batman and Robin #4, written by Joshua Williamson, with art by Simone DeMeo. I was not impressed with the first 3 issues of this, but I'll tell you this much. Batman and Robin #4 landed solidly. And it was a 4-part opening. It's complete. It's going forward. Yeah, it's an ongoing. But the opening arc is over. And the landing was so sound that it made, in my humble opinion, made it, the first 3 issues a lot stronger. And like, I didn't see the point. I was like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's just like everything was pretty well set up. So here we go. Hopefully Joshua Williamson is learning how to really land his arcs. He's also been rewarded with Green Arrow. That is now an ongoing. So issue 7 of Green Arrow will be coming out to an LCS near you very soon. Here's one for me that I didn't get. It was Batman 428, The Robin Lives facsimile. Now this is, hey Bone, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, happy Sunday to you too, sir. Batman, Robin Lives. Yeah, okay. So this is a 1988. The issues of Batman leading up to Death in the Family had a 1-900 phone number, 50 cents per call, where you can vote. It was a binary vote, one or the other. Jason lives, Jason dies. And I think it was something like 72 votes, Jason dies, of this telephone poll. We do polls on YouTube. You know what I mean? Let's see. Can we do a poll? Let's start a poll. Jason lives. Jason dies. And don't worry, there's going to be no 50-cent charge for the poll that's in our that's in our chat right now. We got polls. We got but yeah, I really like the way that issue 4 Batman and Robin landed. It was a tight ending, yeah. But Batman 428, Robin Lives. So it uses the unused art in case that they had 2 of them written up. There's only 3 pages of different art. The rest of it's the same thing. It's the same comic book. And there's just 3 different pages. It's not worth it. It is a cash grab. To be better, in my humble opinion. If you put it on your pull list, then you know what I mean. I don't know. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Because I'm a huge Jason Todd fan, and that was when I was a sophomore in high school. I was getting those, and the movie was coming out the following year in 1989. That's when the Tim Burton movie was. Everyone had Batman fever, and Detective Comics was turning 600 issues, and which with what ended up being one of my all-time favorite Batman stories, Blind Justice by Sam Hamm, and art by Dennis Cowan. Yes, love Batman. But yeah, in my humble opinion, Batman 428 Faux Simile, Robin Lives is a dud. It's a cash grab. But I'm going to balance that with the most solid sleeper recommendation I can give anyone. Batman Santa Claus Silent Night, Knight, issue number 2. Issue 1 blew me away. It was so fun. The art was so crisp, and it's actually in continuity. Issue 2 is more of that joy, more of that fun. I'm going to, if they're still on the shelves behind, it's going to be a weekly. So issue 3 is coming out this Wednesday coming, and issue 4 will be out on Tuesday, the 26th, because DC Comics come out on Tuesdays now. And I will buy issues 1 and 2 and 3 next week. I will, because it's fun. Reward the title with your patronage. That's what it's about. Yeah. And it's Batman and Santa Claus versus Krampus, and it's fun. Yeah. And I hope that you heed this very earnest suggestion from Pika and myself. Yeah, this is a sleeper. I was sleeping on this. I read this, and it just took me by surprise. What a lovely surprise. What a lovely surprise. We've got issue number 2 of 3. It's Batman Black Label, the Gargoyle of Gotham, written in art by Raphael Grandpa. My cup of tea. Some people don't like this. I, for one, really like it a lot. Let's look up Raphael Grandpa. He's a wiki. He's 45 years old. He's from Brazil, and he's a comic book artist and a film director. And he also did Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child, which I thought was so good. And I've seen his Batman before, and he did Batman Black and White. We were talking about the Black and White and Red series. What all started that all was the Batman Black and White, and I have that one somewhere. Love is Batman. So this is like a year 2 kind of Batman, maybe a year 3 Batman, a younger Bruce Wayne. We still have Alfred, and there's no Dick Grayson yet, so there's no Robin yet. Batman's a solo act, and it's non-continuity, and it has this great art and this great story. I love Gargoyle of Gotham so much. It's very European looking. I love European style comics, the art, the maturity, you know what I mean? The eye to it, the texture of it, it's but yeah, I'm all for it. This is good stuff. That's going to collect very well. The other one, it's like, so you have the 2 Batman like prestige format Black Labels come out the same week, because you also have Batman City of Madness by Christian Ward. That's 2 of 3. And I think the second issue is a lot stronger than the first issue, therefore making the first issue better in a way. Interesting art style, and some weird, maybe Stranger Things influenced not by brand, but maybe just by the whole spookiness thing, the what I call Twilight Zone-y. That there is an under Gotham, and in the under Gotham, all of our souls have a shade, and there's a different Gotham down there. And so is it, what do they call it? The Upside Down? I don't watch Stranger Things. I should, right? Because it's like, that's made for me, nostalgia TV. I've never seen an episode of Stranger Things. Yeah. And topping it all off this week is Action Comics 1060. And it's I think it's the second to last action comic written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. The story will conclude in the annual to 2023 Action Comics annual. I believe that Jason Aaron is now taking over Action Comics and that aspect of Superman's life. And it's been a really good run. I've really appreciated it. And there's a really good John Constantine teaming up with Superman in this Action Comics. Really liked it. And the 2 backup features were pretty good, including Joe Casey's prologue to Kneel Before Zod, and which is really cool. The art's really cool. The story's really cool. And I really liked it. Action Comics 1060. Yes. And that is the digital comics for the week. So what's in the bag? What's in the bag? What did we get? And also, we have a bona fide unboxing. Let's do that first. What came? This is a Gemini mailer. This is so any online, comic you get, like the Indiegogos or the Kickstarters, and you know I'm talking about, the Kangs, $10 of that is this, the Gemini mailer and the shipping and handling involved. So your comic is coming to you in a really pristine format. So just break the tape. You know what I mean? There is a little overlap here. So that means you can use a sharp edge. You're not going to damage the comic opening up the lip here. Whoops. Always cut away from you. Yeah. So see, there's your overlap. So you're not going to damage your comic opening up that seam there. There's the brand name, the Gemini 2 mailer. Secure flaps. And inside we have, what do we have? It cushions it in the inside by giving it something to, absorb some shock. Huh? That's what that's for. And I saved these mailers. So just in case I want to start selling my comic books. What do we got? Oh, wow. Is that a gaming thing? Andy Smith's Core Draft. Look what I got. So, yeah, these are basically $25 comic books. And I got a variant cover, which is this is like oh, look at it signed by him, too. Oh, that's so cool. And then it comes with some cards. Some kind of game thing. See, I'm not really into games or astonishing comics. Thanks. I've never been into tabletop games or even like Conan funny books. The closest I got was Gru. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the experience of the crowdfunders, they basically make trade paperbacks. There's like 3 issues worth of story in here. Really good art. Andy Smith art. Dude, this guy's great. and it's sword and sorcery. Lusty barbarian babes meet, stinky hairy battle axe wielding, Cro-Mag, who's virile and will bring home meat. Oh. Ah. I'll read that a little later, but that's nice. Yeah. And it's nice to compare to like the other new styles of publishers like Distillery and Alien Books, who do that with, and also like DC Black Label, who do that well. Nice binding, cardstock cover, no ads, all story, higher price, but better quality though. I mean, is that the future of the funny book? Is it? Don't know, but you know what I know? We got to look in the bag and see what's going on here, huh? What's in the bag? What's in the ubiquitous brown paper bag? The brown paper flat that you get from your local comic book shop, your LCS. What did we get this week? We only got 3 issues of comic books this week. One, this I've been following. This is Joe Casey and Ryan Quackenbush. This is drawn with raw pencil and choice colors by Ryan Quackenbush. I've been following this. This is some good stuff. I love the sense of art in this. It looks like those late 80s pre-Vertigo DC books made for mature readers, like Animal Man and Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol and just and Sandman, original Sandman, I love the art in this. This is a comic book. It's really nice. $4.99, and I'm happy to be part of this. This is great. It's trippy, and it's great art. But speaking of great art too, Yule Carter, you out there, brother? I got this because of your recommendation. This is Bloodrick by Andrew Cranky, and this is on Image Comics, $3.99. This is a it's got a cute the backstory. This took me 10 years to make my own comic book and get it in to see this come to fruition. And this is a bitterly funny sword and shield warrior tale. And I was just saying that I've never been really into Conan the Barbarian type of fare. Like I said, the closest I've come would be like Gru the Wanderer, because it's like really funny and it doesn't take itself too seriously. But this one here, Bloodrick, we have all this wonderful art, these like real pencils. And it's about a hunter who's, he's maybe suffering from his loneliness, suffering from his skill set, perhaps. But hey, CJ, how you doing? And the art in this is great. He's got to fight a bear. Who hasn't? But this stuff's really good, and it's because you have this like internal dialogue of Bloodrick himself, and then the storyteller as well. And he was frustrated, and because he's not that good of a hunter. So it's somewhere between Conan and Gru. It looks great, and it's very it's very violent. So is Gru the Wanderer as well, but it doesn't take itself completely seriously. And the last issue I got here, I got this. This is a variant cover. This is the variant cover for Green Lantern number 6, new this week, written by Jeremy Adams, art by Germanico. And this is a pastiche of the famous Green Lantern issue number 49 cover of, Hal Jordan with all the Green Lantern rings on his finger. He's been infected with parallax. We don't know that yet. That was a retcon to save this Hal's skin, literally. But Hal, it just burned through the Green Lantern Corps, getting all their rings so he can amass more and more power to try to get, to resurrect Coast City after, just the reign of Superman. Oh yeah. 30-year-old, Green Lanterns. And, but this is a wonderful Santa Claus variant cover that sends that up. It's a really good issue too. It's got, I won't spoil the reveals. There are 2 reveals at the end. And if you're a fan of Green Lantern so far reading this, you know what I mean? I'll keep it going. I said it before. It's a bit mild sauce. It's not like it's bad sauce. It's just more of it's kind of safe in a way. It's not challenging. I don't feel like much tension, but it's also Jeremy Adams' introductory arc. So hopefully he'll have a good, 2-year run like he did on, like, how long did he have on Flash? He had what, 2 years on Flash? Was it more than that? Let me know in the comments section or in the chat if you know. But yeah, here's your ads. Aquaman. And basically the holiday ads are to advertise Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night. But it's really fun. And it's just, some classic Sinestro versus Hal fight. Sinestro's so mad that he kind of manifests his own Red Lantern power. And so it's kind of like Red Lantern Sinestro fights Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern of Section 2814. And then there's the backup feature as well. It's very cartoony, but it's written by Pete Tomasi. It's apparently this is Sinestro's son, and this is going to roll up into you remember Super Sons? Well, there's going to be one called Sinister Sons, and it's Sinestro and Zod Jr. And it's going to be their form of the Super Sons, but with heels and bad guys. That sounds fun and interesting. Sure. For those of you that like Super Sons, you're kind of getting this a little bit more of it, not the way you want it, but this sounds fun too. Like what kind of, it's like maybe like the Beavis and Butthead of the stars. Wouldn't that be cool? I didn't even know Sinestro had a kid. Well, this is what's been like setting it up, is the backup feature Green Lantern. And so that's cool. So yeah, so those are the 3 comic books I bought this week. And we have Core Draft. And I like it when when they fulfill. I mean, I only have a few comics out there that haven't been fulfilled yet by these creators on that side. And they're late. They're very late. And geez, I even reached out to one of them on Indiegogo through I didn't want to talk about it on Twitter because their DMs are closed. And I, because I didn't want to it's not no one's business but me. I spent $97 with them, $87 for the book package, and $10 for shipping, handling, and the Gemini mailer, which is like, hey, that's part of it. You know what I mean? So you're buying a $25 book, but it's always going to be $35 because the Gemini mailer, So yeah, it's good to see. But yeah, so yeah, here it is. I spent almost $100 with this guy, and they can't even fucking get back to you on the messaging system with it. You know what I mean? I'd like to ask for a refund at this point, but you know what I mean? Just give me my bloody thing, and like I'm not going to order with you again. It doesn't matter, what the quality of it was, or even the lateness. It's the fact that I reached out to the creator with my order number and made her, asked a fair question as a backer, and that was months ago. I haven't heard from them yet, and so I'm kind of like, oh, well, that's nice, huh? Very suspicious, but yeah, it is tempting. Thanks, CJ. Yeah, it is kind of tempting to air out your dirty laundry and to get get some traction on your issue by doing it in a public setting. And it's like, no, why not just yeah. So their DMs are closed on Twitter. So, and I followed them too. I still do. And watching them, they're on the shows and everything, but no kneeling involved. It's too Catholic for me. But just to get back to you and just to say, hey, I don't think I can fulfill your request, but hey, at least getting back to me that would have made the most, I think, is what matters most in my thing here. Yeah. And it's like, well, just thanks, guy. I'm so happy to be, what is it, like, what am I, like a fruitless orbiter? Is that what they call it? No, disappointed fan. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to wrap it up. It's the new release show. Unless there's something out there y'all want to talk about. Is there any, pressing issues in the fandom and the outrage? Are there cancel pigs you want to make out of bacon? My friend Yule Carter said he doesn't like that term. It's a little dehumanizing. I agree with him. Yeah. But I'm going to have just a little bit more fun with the trend before it's 15 minutes fade. You know what I mean? It's I think it's like 7.5 minutes on Cancel Pigs right now. And thank you for coming to the show, AL. And God bless you and your family. And I hope the kid gets your daughter gets well soon. You know what I mean? And you can stop being like, the COVID house. You get some cameras and do a reality show. Welcome to COVID house. Brought to you by Campbell's Chicken Soup and, insert your pharma here. Well, cool beans. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me today. Color me purple. And remember, so I'll end the show with the purple. For a long time, for the past couple of years, since getting back into comics again, you get a face full of purple every time you open up a new modern comic. There is this huge thing about the color purple. And I found this website, and I'm going to share it. Yeah, I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to do it. It's called Year of Purple 2022. How 2022's it color is influencing design. There are many reasons for the color purple being a hot color right now, not just in print publication, but if you look at advertisements everywhere. I mean, just this color purple is everywhere. When Pantone came up with a custom color, periwinkle blue, its red undertones and bright hue impressed everyone. Shutterstock's color trends also had a violet color, and now WGSN has declared orchid flower to be the color to watch out for. Remember, this is a 2022 article from KIMP. It's about design and about color, and it was like used in a lot of, like, the Biden inauguration was about purple, and it's about luxury and innovation. And also, the purple is like the royal color, like, and it's the color of the Emperor of Rome, and in today's context, purple has become a sought-after color after years of neglect. So any brand that uses it today is thinking outside the box. This connection with innovation with an element of luxury has made it quite popular among the masses. Gen Z and millennial appeal. Ever since 2016's Color of the Year turned up as rose quartz, millennial pink has come into existence. And it is a color that designers and design agencies consider to most appeal to millennials based on their fashion and decor choices. And from there, the reign of the pastel shades began. And but recently, owing to the K-pop explosion, a natural evolution of millennial pink into darker shades, millennials and Gen Z have moved on to shades of purple. And I was researching, like, what is up with all the freaking purple in my comic books? It's just everywhere. It's oppressive. And since they make up a majority of consumers with buying power, brands too have adopted this color to appeal to this demographic. And here we go too. Equality. Last but not least, the society has changed a lot in the last few years. Social inequity and justice are now in the limelight more than ever. What this means to the current generation is that they want to grow up in a fair and equal society. The color purple has had a long history associating with some of the most powerful movements of our generation, right from the women's rights movement to the LGBTQIA plus pride flag and the gender equality movement, to name a few. This positive association has made it a preferred color for many individuals worldwide. And like Very Perry, it was the Pantone color of 2022. And so we're still dealing with, like, the back, comics written and produced in 2022. You know what I mean? Now we're getting to the 2023 comics, but still purple is this huge color. And it's the color of what's known as the South Park Into the Pandaverse, the Panda Stone, the Pander Stone, and like Orchid Flower, Velvet Violet, these Ultraviolet. That was the 2018 Color of the Year. Millennial Lavender. I mean, this is a website about marketing and design. What the print publication industry is more truly about than perpetuating our comic book stories. So, but what I'm saying now is I'm weaponizing it for the forces of equality, really, because blue people hate it when I push back on them on this. That I say to them now, when you see the color purple in all of your comic books, I want you to see all of those blues with all of the reds equally getting along and working together to make for you all this glorious purple that's everywhere. And because they don't want to include the reds. Reds might want to include blues, sure, in the American way, but I don't think blues at all have any intention of getting along with reds. Or, and it's just I just see that. That's like, but yeah, how purple works in branding. By the looks of it, purple is here to stay. And even if the trend changes, purple has been a popular color for branding for quite some time now. So if your brand personality connects with ideas of luxury, elegance, and innovation, we say go for it. Embrace the purple color for your branding designs. And it's everywhere in comic books. It's everywhere. But yeah, so oh, wow! We've got some comic book royalty right here. Ha ha! He's a royal pain, that is. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you. Good to see you here. Yeah, we're about to just wrap up the show too. But yeah, that was like, color me purple. I'll embrace the color purple because it is about reds and blues uniting. And that's how I'm going to see it. I finally saw something worthwhile in all of this overusage of this trendy color that's got so much social baggage to it. And just, it gives me emotional shrinkage just to look at it now. But you know what? I found something positive and I'm going to go with it. And especially if it's to weaponize it to make people, see like, hey, You got to get along with other people. Enough of your destabilizing BS, of this just overdone thing of just this culture war BS. I'm done with it. I want to read funny books. Funny books are supposed to be fun, darn it. That's it. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Come back on Wednesday when we're going to cover the new releases of the week. That's right. I'll be at the local comic book shop getting them myself on Wednesday, new release day. Happy holidays. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. All righty. Ciao. Bye-bye.